it got to a stage that I was the one that read the Bible at All Saints Cathedral.
Wonderful.
So it really brought me close to God, and then it really helped me to imbibe some of those tenets of God that is presently what has really taken me to where I am with God now.
Certificates are good, but when morals are lacking in an individual, the certificate means nothing. You know, in the university you're given a certificate, and they will say concerning that individual that he has been found worthy, both in character and learning. So morals play a very important role. DMGS has been known for producing many bishops, both in the Anglican Communion and in the Roman Catholic Church.
You divide the both sides, the coefficient of 1.
Currently, the curriculum of Dennis Memorial Grammar School is designed to take care of the interest of students from every part of the world. The school operates basically Nigerian curriculum, but patterned to suit students from any part of the globe. The school admits new students into junior secondary and senior secondary classes in September of every year. This is subject to available spaces.
And one fantastic thing, in DMGS we had all classes of human beings. You had the children of the poor, you had the children of the rich, you had the children of those from the churches, middle class, everything. And you had some boys who you consider primitive boys that came from the villages. But by the time we got to class 3, they were fantastic and they did very well. They wouldn't have had that opportunity if they had not come to DMGS. Because the other schools were selective. You had to be the son of somebody, one prominent person before.
Right in DMGS, once you enter DMGS, by the time you're in class 3, you have defined your roles, who you are. There's no person. Because in class 4, you're now preparing to become the big shots.
I will continue to remain grateful to DMGS. It's a marvelous place to be, and anybody who has an opportunity to be there in his own right. Because if my father had bought a place for me in DMGS, I don't think I would have appreciated the way I did. My father didn't even know I took the entrance to DMGS. But because I was in a Anglican primary school, and everybody was, saying I want to take an entrance in DMGS first. I appreciate DMGS. I think without DMGS, I wouldn't have been anything. That much I know, and I'm grateful.
So famiredo mbawa ona so.
In those days, some of the things that we hold on to still today are the things that maybe people in other places may not consider so important, but then we cherish them, we treasure them. Like granite, when people eat granite, now they take it as an but in DMGS we celebrate the eating of granite.
There was a culture in DMGS that made you to compete, very healthy competition, but inside that competition was an aspiration to only be the best, nothing less. So, that was a wonderful and healthy competition. So some of us that came from other schools, who were in other schools before the war and joined DMGS, quickly got transformed, infected by that kind of behavior.
DMGS always set great score by character building. Every set of students could count how many of their junior and senior contemporaries were severely punished for offenses which today would pass unnoticed or simply call forth a shrug of the shoulder.
I came often to come and do some documentation and stuff. And while I was there, I came early enough before the assembly started. So I think they were rounding up latecomers. So at the assembly I started, the principal's office is very close to the entrance gate. So as I was just there waiting, I just saw some boys going around the door, told to kneel down, and the next year, some of them started getting their ass booked, and I was asking myself whether this is what I feel. So yeah, it was one of it was a very, very interesting first day too.
Who would have gone to DMGS and not have fun memories? If nothing at all, maybe memories of the punishment you suffered, net washing, digging the trenches, cutting the grass, and all those things. They are fun memories, but on the very positive side, there is a great respect for seniority. You respect anyone who is ahead of you. It's a tradition we still have till today. Because anywhere I meet a senior DMGS person, I must bow first to anything. Otherwise, he can give you punishment right there.
Of course, we cannot forget the impression that our principal, Mr. Eso Ogazi, a blessed memory, the impression he left on us. He was a role model in every respect. His courage, his command of English, and the discipline around him. He exuded discipline and knowledge.
Discipline that existed in DMGS at that time was such that a class 2 student will give instruction and every other person who is junior in the class 1 will obey order and discipline.
Okay.
I was a very rascally person growing up. So DMGS was a molding, it was a change, it was a complete change environment for me.
Some students lost a year for slightly and almost imperceptibly tampering with marks awarded by their teachers. Proven cases of pilfering, dishonesty, or gross indiscipline, of course, meant outright dismissal.
Those days in DMGS, you got expelled either because you failed or because you stole. But once you were a very bright student, no matter the number of punishments you did in a term, you got promoted if you passed.
We make noise in class. Echozna was to teach us music, but I better know it. So once you don't come early, students have time to be doing noise. And then students can tell funny things. So I don't know how better. And he dodged and had many things. So when he came in, he was saying, "Look, who said it?" And everybody was denying. I was the monitor. As him, I must say, I said I mentioned few names plus my own. I think we went for a week. We get suspension. So those are the kind of things.
When you get into the school, that this first welcoming atmosphere, that there's a change from where you're coming from to another place, that they are in an entirely new world. At first, it's like being caged in the four walls of a school. At times, it's like you lost liberty and freedom. You're not in control of the teachers, the masters, and of course the figurehead, Ezuku, the principal then. And you'll be kind of not getting to understand what is happening to you. But with time, you realize that everybody's just doing the same thing. You have to start making friends and start to adapt and then start to conform with the rules and regulation of the school. And it will change your entire horoscope. And every effort I made to try to be me cost me so much suspension and expulsion. And you have to kind of one way or the other to adapt.
During my time in DMGS too, with the backing of the principal, a new law came in. If for any reason you are disciplined and you have to you have to leave the hostel, we'll make sure you leave the hostel completely. It's not a question of because they said before us, somehow they got out of control, and they were so bad that the image of the school was going down. So the senior prefects at that time, if I recall correctly, the Commissioner for Education Anambra State was from DMGS, the PAM Secretary was from DMGS, so they backed the principal and said, "Look, go and clean this school." And incidentally, Mr. Ofo, blessed memory now, was also an old boy. So it was very easy. The man came with fire, you know. So it was nice. I think it was fun.
In sports and games too, the DMGS students are not left out.
Ezenwa came in and changed the face of sport. DMGS was not really known for much of sport. It was when Ezenwa came, DMGS was able to carry the then Eastern Tertiary Academicals for the first time. The BCKC went to beat the champion Fisher, and then Arugo, that's the Holy Ghost, and the Asia man. So it was under him. And right after that victory, they transferred him. So there was riot. Opuga must not go. So Opuga brought a lot of footballing. Brought players from all over. People who played academicals. They late. There was this my classmate, Francis Onyekolo Igarega, who later played for Rangers and went to the US and came back, but he had an accident. He died. I was waxing and who was in my hall. Crowder, I was a school captain. I think Nnamdi is She's probably in the US. There were so many of them. Duman Namoko. So many. At that time, football was a sport. There wasn't so much money, and I believe that if those guys, today, those boys would have done so much in terms of,
I was in the relay team. I was in school in sprinting, and we won so many laurels for DMGS. We will go for the-house national relays, schools, so DDGs, DMGS, St. Martin's on the Cholona, CKC, PRC, and mainly all the Anglican schools in the Southeast and beyond. They invite us for prayer, and I tell you, every Monday they will bring us out to go in communion and us, having done the school proud. I do other games. I was in the school basketball team. We are the 1978 school sports champion.
I was at the time the best shot putter, zonal champion in shot put. I was there, and I did drama too. I acted, I played.
I played hockey. And was the school captain. 1956. I played football, first 11. Won colors. Of course, I won colors in hockey. Then in football, I played in the first 11. And athletics, I won colors, the school colors.
Being a school that has produced men of proven integrity in various fields of human endeavor, DMGS Old Boys Association has created a niche in many aspects. They have renovated a lot of structures in the school. Dengramite Resort, Owerri, was donated by an old boy, Justice T.C. Anomnachi. Dengram Close, Enugu, was secured by an old boy, Professor Wilson Onribu. Then Obiejesi Complex in DMGS Onitsha was donated by Dr. N.S. Obiejesi, Managing Director, Next Oil.
One of the ways you can position DMGS to greatness again, because it was really a great school, is by getting also the private sector involved. You see, all over the world, most of the things that have succeeded, especially in the black world, is by private initiative. The only way you can get DMGS to return to greatness is by involving corporate, private, and that was one of the things I tried to do as a student, as a member of the board, by taking up this initiative alone, building that hostel. Then once that hostel is completed, I should now be looking at other ways we are going to, make sure that we get that school back.
As a lover of DMGS, I was a mission scholar. And, of all those who graduated with me and did the higher college Yaba exam, I was the only one who got the major government scholarship. I remember my days. And, as in one of my writings, my history teacher said one line, only goes one line, is one line. And today, in fact, I'm a world historian in the field of cancer. I've written a chapter of a book on it and several articles in that field. So as a practitioner, I am a general practitioner. My spare time, and I've done so for years. One of my patients was the chairman of the municipal council here. And he asked me what would he do for me. I said, give his clothes, then grand clothes, not only go clothes, then grand clothes.
The 2025 project has been able to achieve a lot of infrastructural change, which I can list. We have, the first project we did was to set up the inverter lighting system, which encompasses the main school block, the library, and the gate. Basically, it turned DMGS into a beacon of light. So whether there was NEPA power or there wasn't, there was always power in the main school block. And practically speaking, it meant that never again did our students have to study for their prep period at night with lanterns. So that was a systemic change. And during the day, it also guaranteed basic power for the principals and the staff so that they can keep their laptops and their mobile phones charged. So that has a very practical benefit. The other things we did include a water reticulation system. Again, we started from the basics. In a 21st century environment, it should be available at the point of use. The iconic 2000 and beyond building did receive a lot of funding from the 2025 project. And on the second floor of that building, the 2025 project has now built an ICT center. We have also installed a campus-wide CCTV system to support the school administration in maintaining security and discipline. We produced the survey map of DMGS, which is helping with development and planning of the campus. And lately, we have been behind setting up the Lux Perpetua, the DMGS Memorial. Given the environment, it was as if there was no opportunity to bring in new blood into being active. So the 2025 project, learning from the experiences I acquired doing the 85x85 project, built on bands for donation in which everybody could find a suitable band to participate, and together we can make a difference.
DMGS does not end with Dennis Memorial Grammar School. There are some abiding values which DMGS has always symbolized: duty, magnanimity, gratitude, and service. After its establishment, the early members of staff of DMGS fully appreciated that the duty and responsibility of the institution was to serve the youths of Nigeria who had the ability and the means to obtain secondary education. To instill discipline, there were individual or group marks awarded for nearly every activity at the school, from classroom performance through hostel cleanliness, and so on. For M, which stands for magnanimity, is used both in earlier and latter-day senses: greatness of soul, loftiness of thought and purpose, nobility of feeling, and more. Gratitude and appreciation were built into the physical structure of DMGS from the very beginning. Some of the prominent features that struck a new boy on approaching the portals of the school for the first time were the commemorative tablets, the inscriptions on the marble of the immortal names of the donors and benefactors of the school. Above all, the school consistently implanted in her boys that service is the rent we pay for our room on earth. If there is anything a student of DMGS will not fail to learn, it is humility and service.
I just wish DMGS would continue in that old tradition of excellence, scholarship and discipline for students, particularly at this time that the society is almost going haywire. The morality in society now has gone down so much that we need schools like DMGS to begin that moral rearmament of our youth.
The next 90 years, we see a transformation back to what the original founders of the school wanted, and that is, it's a grammar school. It's a grammar school. It's a liberal arts school. It's a school founded on humanity, which is critical. Science is important, but the human character, the society is not built by science. It is humanity. It is man that makes every other thing possible. So DOBAww was fashioned to be a school of humanity. Science came into it too, but it must not lose focus of that leadership training.
At 90, the school should continue to excel. They have quality people, because all those people are, I'm in a boys' school. This issue of chasing girls, I didn't experience it. Instead, they had a little bit, they had a respect for me, that I'm a girl coming to their school and competing with them, and they felt it was good. So they were all willing to help, and I want to compete with them. So they were also happy. So I didn't experience any molestation. So I want the younger generation to uplift that memorable, aspect, excellence among students, because they have quality teachers who are ready to teach them. I feel that people should still maintain that quality.
I wish them this well. I wish that God will bless the effort of those great people that have inspired the school, either as teachers and as students and as administrators. Above all, I wish to remember the memory of the man in whose honor DMGS is named, Archdeacon T.J. Dennis, who was a great missionary and who lit the light of the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ in the eastern banks of the Niger. And I pray that all of us who have something to do with that school, that God will help us to continue to shine brighter and brighter, even in the midst of storm of this life.
I sing to you Lux Fiat. DOBAww, I bring to you faith untold. You challenge and inspire. Your hope is our desire. We sing to you our alma mater, Lux Fiat.
How best can I describe it? I'm so proud to be a DOBAwwite.
DMGS has a lot of success stories to tell. Education is a rope that can carry us to greatness. Lux Fiat.